this lesson, we're going to talk about integer word problems, or I like to call life application problems. So let's look at the first problem. A scuba diver is swimming 20 feet below sea level. He then rises 13 feet. How far below sea level is the scuba diver? To answer this question, I like to use this little device down at the bottom as a helpful tool. This is something to help you with any word problem that we do this year in class. The acronym is CUBES. The C represents to circle the numbers. The U represents to underline the question. B represents box the keywords. And E, it means evaluate and draw. And S means solve and check. So let's go ahead and run through the idea of cubes. So let's first go ahead and circle all of our numbers. It looks like I have a 20 and I have a 13. And we're talking about feet in our case, so 20 and 13 feet. You underline the question. All right, well, let's see what the question is saying. The question is saying, usually the question is the last sentence in the problem. So it says, how far below sea level is the scuba diver? Okay, well, that's our question. Let's see. Let's box some key words. I would say that some key words in our problem here, I would say below. Below is definitely going to be a key word here. And then I would also say that the word rises, that's another key word. Those both are words that tell us where something is located. If I think below, I would say that it's beneath. What are we talking about? Well, it's below sea level. And then rises. Well, rises means go up. Okay, now let's go ahead and look at E, which is evaluate and draw. I love this part because you get to draw yourself a picture. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to draw myself a picture. So I see that I have some water. And I also have my little scuba diver. Now, I'm not really a good scuba diver, so we're going to do a little stick figure scuba diver. There he is. We'll put some flippers on him. And right now, he is 20 feet below the sea level. We're going to say that this right here is our sea level. So if he's 20 feet below, I can say that right here, that's going to represent 20 feet. Now, if I think about 20 feet below, can I use the word negative? Isn't negative 20 another way to say it's below a level? Okay, now that scuba diver is going to rise. So he's going to go up to the surface, but he's only going to rise 13 feet. So if you think about it, this scuba diver is going to go upwards. He's going to go up 13 feet. So remember, below sea level is negative 20. And if I rise, just like on a number line, I'm going to add 13. So now we have a problem. We evaluated and we drew our picture, and it created this nice expression. So now that I have this expression, I want to do my S in cubes, which means solve and check. So if I were to take negative 20 and add 13, that's going to leave me at negative 7. So let's go back to the original question. How far below sea level is the scuba diver? Well, my answer is negative 7. But I'm not going to say negative 7. I'm going to say my scuba diver is 7 feet below the surface of the water. Anytime you're doing a word problem in class, you won't only just have to draw a picture and create a problem, but I would always like you to do this. I like to call this my ending statement or my therefore statement. Therefore, the scuba diver is 7 feet below the surface of the water. Sometimes I like to use this little symbol right here. This little symbol means therefore. So feel free to use that little symbol whenever you're finishing up your word problems. Let's try another one. If the temperature is negative 8 degrees Fahrenheit And by lunch, the temperature had risen to 23 degrees Fahrenheit. What was the temperature at lunchtime? Okay, well, let's look here. Let's use our C first. Circle the numbers. Let's go ahead and circle the numbers. I have a negative 8 degrees Fahrenheit, and I have a 23 degrees Fahrenheit. All right, let's underline the question. What was our question? Our question was, what was the temperature at lunchtime? So that's the goal. That's what we're trying to answer. Box the key words. Let's go ahead and box the key words. Let's see what we have here. I would say that risen, that's a pretty important word, right? That was similar to the last problem. If it rises, you're going to be increasing something. Okay, evaluate and draw. All right, well, you can use a thermometer to help you here. Or if you think about a thermometer placed on its side, don't we use, doesn't it look like a number line? So let's say that this is our number line. And this is negative 8. This is the temperature at the beginning. And we're going to rise 23 degrees. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to draw out the rest of my number line. Okay, so if the temperature is going to begin at negative 8, and by lunch the temperature had risen 23 degrees. So let's go ahead and count. I'm going to increase this by 23 degrees, and that's going to raise all the way up to here. If I think about it as an expression, it would be negative 8, and I'm going to rise 23 degrees. So when I rise 23 degrees, it's going to end up at 15. So the question is, what was the temperature at lunchtime? Well, after I drew a picture and evaluated, let's go ahead and solve it. Well, 15 degrees. So my therefore statement is going to be the temperature at lunch was 15 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay, let's look at another one. Jamie owes his mom $12 for a new CD. Jamie mows the lawn for a neighbor and makes $15. How much money does Jamie have left after paying his mom back for his CD? All right, let's go ahead and follow our cubes. And the first thing is circle the number. So I'm going to say positive 12, and $12 and $15. Now, let's go ahead and underline the question. The question is going to be the last sentence. How much money does Jamie have left after paying his mom back for his CD? Let's go ahead and box our keywords in our problem. I would say that owes is probably an important problem, or important word. And I would say makes, probably another important word. All right, now let's piece things together here. Let's go ahead and evaluate and draw a picture. So if you think about this, we could draw a picture in chips, couldn't we? If Jamie owes his mom $12, isn't that going to be negative 12? That's going to be negative 12. I could go ahead and draw myself negative 12 chips. I'm going to go ahead and do that. All right, there are my negative 12 chips. And he makes $15. Isn't that a positive number? If you make $15 mowing someone's lawn, someone gives you positive money. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to create positive chips, 15 of them. All right, now that I have that, let's go ahead and let's think about this. I decided to create chips because I kind of treated each chip as $1. And so I have negative $12 and 15 positive dollars. So if I go ahead and I create my 0 pairs, you're going to notice that I lined them up for a reason. I lined them up because they make really nice 0 pairs. Remember, 0 pairs, they cancel each other out. So what am I left with? Well, I'm left with what I have here. I'm left with $3. So to create, to solve an expression here, I would say that if I owe, if Jamie owes his mom $12, I'm going to say negative 12. And then I have a plus 15 because I earned $15. And that's going to leave me with my positive 3. Therefore, how much money does Jamie have left after paying his mom back for the CD? Well, I would say that Jamie has $3. All right, here are 2 practice problems. This is a great time to pause the video and see if you can try these on your own. I am going to walk you through these, and we're going to use our cubes. And I even put the little cubes on the side so you can check them off as you work through the problems. So take a moment, pause the video, and work through these problems. Okay, number 1, a tour group began the day at 400 feet below sea level. At the end of the day, they had gained 2,000 feet in elevation. How far above sea level was the tour group? So the first thing I'm going to do is my C. I'm going to circle my numbers. So I'm going to go ahead and circle my numbers. 400, looks like 400 feet, and 2,000 feet. Those are my numbers. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to underline my question. My question is going to be, how far above sea level was the tour group? I'm going to go ahead and now I'm going to go box my important words. I would say the first is below, again, below sea level. And I would say, the word gained. Gained is another positive word. It's kind of like rise, where you're adding. All right, let's go ahead and draw a picture and see what we have here. This picture is going to be very similar to the last one. It looks like here is my sea level. And I would say that my submarine is somewhere down here. And it is 400 feet below sea level. And at the end of the day, it gained 2,000 feet in elevation. So this is kind of an interesting problem because you can see that we're in a submarine, but the information doesn't really say anything about what the tour is. So it looks like the tour might be a submarine and then they get off of the submarine and they go hiking. Who knows? It doesn't really give us any information. All we know is what they give us. So we know that the submarine is going to end up going upwards 2,000 feet. Now, it's kind of an interesting problem because let's see how high they actually get. I'm going to go ahead and start at negative 400 feet below the surface of the water. But by the end of the day, the tour group, whatever they did, maybe they went on a helicopter ride, they gained 2,000 feet in elevation. So that's going to end up at 1,600 or 1,600 feet above sea level. So therefore, let's go ahead and solve. Therefore, I would say the tour group ended their tour at 1,600 feet above sea level. Now, I know it's a very interesting problem, but there really isn't much information given to us there. So we're able to kind of work our way through it just by working with the numbers. All right, the last problem here is a question about a dolphin. A dolphin is 15 feet below sea level and swims up 7 feet. How far below sea level is the dolphin? All right, well, let's take a look. Feel free to draw your picture at any time. But I like to, if you see my little dolphin here, want to get him. Ooh, that's not a really good dolphin. Hopefully you can draw a better dolphin than I am. I can. But I like to visualize what I'm actually talking about so I can solve the problem. So let's look at C. Let's go ahead and circle all of our numbers. I've got 15 feet, and I have 7 feet. Let's see what my question is going to be. My question is going to be, how far below sea level is the dolphin? And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to grab my keywords. The dolphin is below sea level. And he swims, I would say swims up, or up would be your keywords. So if we look at our dolphin here, he is 15 feet below sea level. And he is going to swim up 7 feet. So again, below sea level is going to be negative 15, and I'm going to add 7 to that. And when I do that, I'm going to end up in my negatives. So you'll see that my negative 15, remember we talked about that trick between the negative 15 and 7. If you look at those two numbers without the operations, 15 is bigger. So my answer is going to be negative. So the dolphin is still going to be under the water at 8 feet. So negative 8. So therefore, I want to say the dolphin is 8 feet below sea level. All right, excellent. All right, that is the end of our lesson on applications of integers.